This week on Longshot TV.
On my way in, I stopped by and checked the cuddy back camera, see what we had on it. Sure enough, we had a lot of deer movement last night.
Time for me to see a buck, and the hunt gets ruined by a loud gunshot. Sure enough, that little 6-pointer came back out again. I've seen no signs of no big bucks yet. Did have some awesome pictures of this big 10-pointer I've been after for quite a while. A few more does feed out. It's a good evening. I catch a glimpse of some antlers, and when I picked the bow up, I bumped the ground blind just a little bit. Probably got 10 or 12 deer in front of me. When I looked to the left, the only thing I saw was a big set of horns. I draw back.
I can't believe that I'm sitting here with this deer I've been chasing all season.
So I'm so excited about starting my 2015 deer hunting season here in my home state of South Carolina. Actually, I have this old country road that splits right through the middle of my property, and I have the property on both sides of the road with some swamp and a river on one side. And I have 2 elevated ground blinds that I like hunting. I'm very limited the time I can hunt here in South Carolina, but this is the best time of year for me to hunt right here in October. So now I've just got everything ready. I just got settled in my ground blind, got my camera, everything set up. I wasn't here probably 20, 30 minutes. I had some does feed out. All of a sudden this little buck comes out. He starts pushing the doe around. He runs the doe off to my left side. She goes in circles back around the food plot. He chases her back and forth about 3 times across this plot. All of a sudden, these 2 little button bucks look like they want to spar. They're getting a little frisky, and they're kind of bumping heads a little bit and acting like they kind of want to stand up and rear up at each other. I had another little buck come out, and he started sparring with this little 6-pointer a little bit. And then, it was time about to pack it up. The sun was setting, starting to lose camera light. But just for the first day, it was extremely exciting, and I was looking at getting back out the next day.
The rut is just starting to happen here in South Carolina. It's October 16th. This is the first cold snap we've had come through. And with the moon, first cold snap, it's this time of year. Normally on October 12th, I start seeing some scraping and rubbing. And, I've seen actually bucks chasing as early as October 12th here in South Carolina. But yesterday, I actually saw the first few bucks chasing. I got a couple acres here of a grown up field, a lot of CRP in it, and just natural habitat. And I got the wind blowing right in my face, and these deer are coming out here in the far corner, so they'll never know we're here if they show up. So hopefully we get them feeding through here, and we can get a crack at one.
I just got back in the ground blind, but I'm actually hunting a different location on the opposite side of the road. We have a north wind, and this ground blind is perfect for this type of wind. Off to my right here is a thick pine thicket. It's kind of like a sanctuary for deer. They feel very safe and secure. And right behind that's a river. They have a few does starting to feed out, just like I thought. They come out the right side and kind of coming right up on me pretty quick. I got at least 10 or 12 deer right in front of me, but this one big old doe, she had like a tumor on her left leg, and it was just kind of dangling. She didn't act like she was in no pain, had no worries, so I wasn't really worried about shooting her and trying to take her out of her misery. And it's just an awesome evening, and I'm like, any minute the big one's gonna come out. I mean, these deer were such at peace. I mean, not alarmed, they just felt very comfortable. And as I was sitting there watching, and it was getting about that time, I had maybe 10 more minutes of light left, I heard a gunshot. They take a few steps and they're not liking that noise. And then all of a sudden there's a second shot. Time for me to see a buck, and the hunt gets ruined by a loud gunshot, spooks the deer, off they go. So if you have a piece of property, I would highly recommend don't do a lot of target shooting where you're deer hunting at, because the only thing you're going to do is make the deer bed down and they're going to become nocturnal.
With all the deer movement I had in here yesterday, I couldn't wait to get back in here today. And on my way in, I stopped by and checked the cuddy back camera, see what we had on it. Sure enough, we had a lot of deer movement last night. About 10 o'clock, we had a shooter buck in here feeding, bumping a doe around on the camera.
Before the break on Longshot TV.
This is the first cold snap we've had come through. And, you know, with the moon, first cold snap, it's this time of year, normally around October 12th. I start seeing some scraping and rubbing. And
had maybe 10 more minutes of light left. I heard a gunshot. Time for me to see a buck, and the hunt gets ruined by a loud gunshot.
On my way in, I stopped by and checked the cuddy back camera, see what we had on it. Sure enough, we had a lot of deer movement last night.
So I'm still at it. I decided to hunt the other side of the road because of what the wind was doing, and got settled in the ground blind and had a few does feed out just like clockwork. Had a couple little button bucks, young deer, and sure enough, that little 6-pointer came back out again, the one that was pushing the does around a few days ago. I think he feels like he's kingpin over here, and he's controlling this little food plot. It was actually a pretty good hunt, but that was all I really seen. I have not seen no signs of the big 10-pointer, and I got to pull out tomorrow morning to head to Ohio to get some stands and stuff ready for the upcoming hunters we have this year. I'm back home now, ready to get back in the woods again. I just got settled back in the ground blind. All of a sudden, it's like I just left. I hear something like walking right underneath the ground blind, and I kind of look over, and it's a daggone turkey. It's a nice tom, and he's feeding within about 5 to 10 feet of these deer. Six-pointer comes out to the left, and he starts chasing and bumping the does around a little bit, and the turkey don't kind of like that, so he kind of walks off. Now I got like 7 or 8 deer in front of me. I just know something's gonna come out any second. I've just seen some does, some younger bucks, a little bit of chasing, a little bit of sparring going on, but I've seen no signs of no big bucks yet. I went to a couple different stand locations and checked some cuddy back trail cam pictures, and I actually did have some awesome pictures of this big 10-pointer I've been after for quite a while, but he was on the stand on the north side of the property, so as long as the wind will allow me to hunt here, I'm gonna put all of my time on this stand. Right off the rip, I have this little buck come out. He's like a little 4 or 6-pointer. He feeds right out to the food plot. No signs of nothing else. Then shortly after that, a doe kind of acts funny and runs out right underneath my ground blind right beside me. And that little buck starts chasing him around, and they didn't want nothing to do with him. So they kind of ran off to the right in the far corner where most of the deer come from. That little buck chasing those does around, I just knew that that doe was going to run off in there and possibly drag a big one back out. And sure enough, I started to pack my camera gear up. I lost the light. All of a sudden, I looked to the far right, far as I could see, and I thought I seen antlers. Now he's 15 yards in front of me. I have my bow in hand and I can't shoot him because I have no camera light.
Before the break on Longshot TV.
Had a couple little button bucks, young deer, and sure enough, that little 6-pointer came back out again, the one that was pushing the does around a few days ago. I've seen no signs of no big bucks yet. Did have some awesome pictures of this big 10-pointer I've been after for quite a while, but he was on the stand on the north side of the property. And all of a sudden, I looked to the far right, far as I could see, and I thought I seen antlers. I'm back in the ground blind again. It's pouring down rain. It's been raining all night. There's like an inch of water standing in the field. I have a few deer come out feeding, but you know, there wasn't a whole lot of action going on. I just had a couple deer and it poured down. I was hoping it was going to let up and the floodgates were going to open with deer coming out. It never slacked off any raining. I got soaking wet walking to the stand. I got soaking wet going back home. So it was just a miserable day in the deer woods. So it's November 22nd, I'm sitting in the ground blind here, and just like usual, a few more does feed out. It's a good evening, very light wind. I look to my far right and I catch a glimpse of some antlers, and then all of a sudden it starts coming out fairly fast. It's the big 9-pointer I had trail cam pictures of a couple days prior to sitting here. So I'm taking my time with him for him to let him feed in, getting close enough for me to take a good steady shot. Finally turns and opens that front shoulder up. He makes that right turn. And I was like, this is my opportunity. If I'm going to take him, I need to do it now. I should have been looking down when I was picking my bow up, and I wasn't. So when I picked the bow up, I bumped the ground blind just a little bit. I lost him for a minute with the camera, then all of a sudden he came back out and I thought he was going to start feeding back in, but he didn't like what he heard, and that was pretty much it. So I'm back at it again. I'm in the ground blind, and this so far is the best day we've had all year as far as temperatures. It's the coldest day by far. So this is the kind of weather you need to get these deer up moving on their feet. And all of a sudden I have a few little young deer in front of me. A few does start feeding out, and then it's like the floodgates open and all these deer just start pouring out. I probably got 10 or 12 deer in front of me. And all of a sudden this window starts looking alarmed over to the left, but I kind of really wasn't worried. I thought she may have heard something, but if I'm expecting a big buck to come out, normally he's coming out on the right side here, but boy was I wrong. When I looked to the left, the only thing I saw was a big set of horns like this. My heart starts going racing. I knew immediately what deer this was. It was a big 10-pointer I've been after all season. And as he's coming in, he almost starts trotting. So I'm scrambling to make sure my bow's ready.
Before the break on Longshot TV.
I'm back in the ground blind again. It's pouring down rain. It's been raining all night. Just like usual, a few more does feed out. It's a good evening, very light wind. I catch a glimpse of some antlers, and when I pick the bow up, I bump the ground blind just a little bit. Probably got 10 or 12 deer in front of me, and some's even in the far back of the field. When I looked to the left, the only thing I saw was a big set of horns. And these does, when they're around him, you know, they're kind of backing away just a little bit. They know that this deer here's the man. So this is definitely the dominant buck for this area, and I'm ready to try to take him with my new Matthews Hayline bow. So I'm just waiting for the right turn for him to open that front shoulder up where I can make a good clean shot on him. When you have so much going on racing through your head, your heart's pounding, you got a big buck less than 20 yards from you, a bow in your hand. I mean, there's so many things can go wrong in a short amount of time. He finally feeds and opens that front shoulder up. I draw back. Yes. Kind of took off fairly fast, and then where he turned and went in the right side of the woods where most of the deer come from, he went in kind of slow.
I just shot the big 10-pointer I've been after. Last few days, had several close encounters with him, and I just couldn't seem to pull it together, but I just shot him. Real nice buck.
Hunting solo, so I had to call some help, and I called my buddy Ryan up. He shows up about 20 minutes later, and it's good and dark now, but he's gonna run the camera, and we're gonna trail this deer into the woods and see when we recover him.
Good red blood all the way up and down it. It's kind of hard to see. It's getting dark, and we're losing camera light fast, but looked like he kind of ran this way about 65, 70 more yards and cut a hard 90. So we're going to right there off this point, slipping that way, and see if we can find him. Usually when you see the blood on the trees like that, he's starting to slow down, stagger, so I don't see it being much further in here. I feel real good about the shot.
Holy cow, dude.
Ow. I've had several close encounters with this deer, and it's almost too good to be true right now, me sitting with him. I'm still kind of speechless. I can't believe that I'm sitting here with this deer I've been chasing all season.
If you do your homework, you run your cutty back trail cameras, you have good equipment like a Matthews bow, and you're very fortunate and lucky to hunt as much as I do, this can happen to you. Been just like 1 or 2 steps behind him, but I finally caught up to him, made it happen, and I couldn't be more happier.
This is my biggest buck by far I've ever taken in South Carolina, and to really put the icing on the cake, I got the opportunity to shoot him with my brand new Matthews bow, my Hayline. Actually got yesterday, and it was a brand new stripped down bow. It didn't have the air arrest sights, nothing on it. Put everything together, and shot the target, shot through paper tuned it within about 4 or 5 shots. I had it blowing bullet holes, so I was feeling pretty confident to take it yesterday evening, and I didn't have no idea this big guy was gonna walk out. Nice 10-pointer right here. And look at the bass right there, and deer's got a hole in his horn right there. It seems like the last 3 deer I've killed, it actually had a hole in the horn right there.
Want to find out more about Longshot TV? Look us up on the following. Special thanks goes out to our friends and partners at Country Boy Outfitters.